We've got new armor passives being revealed, trippy teddy bears warping to other dimensions, and a new level cap increase. But it seems even some on the LowSodiumReddit are pointing out some things with Arrowhead's latest announcement. For that and more, stick around as we dive into the latest and greatest with Helldivers. We might as well kick this off with the crazy-looking Face the Unknown teddy bear trailer that came out of nowhere, dropping yesterday on both YouTube and Twitter, which at the time of this recording, the Twitter post alone has amassed over 2.1 million views and 23,000 likes. And if you haven't seen this thing, it's pretty epic. Here it is. Pretty wild looking for sure, right? With the whole traveling through a space void, getting ripped apart, that weird creepy music, landing somewhere else, and then the claw hand reflection kind of reaching in there right at the end. Now, a lot, and I mean a ton of speculation has already been hitting all the Helldivers social forums as to what that claw hand can actually belong to. And I posted a poll yesterday to my channel asking what you thought that claw hand belonged to, and right now 52% of the votes say it is an Illuminate cultist, 21% think it is 𝗵𝗔 from the community team, 18% say it is some new enemy type, and 10% think it is a creation straight from the mind of Thornton. And I thought for sure that the 𝗵𝗔 or Thornton options would honestly be scoring a little bit higher than they are. Now, there were a couple bits of confusion when it came to this trailer, and I've seen your questions around them, so let's cut down to it. First is the date right at the end of the trailers that says 8/12/2026, which means one thing for us here in the States, but a completely different something to many areas around the world. Now, I look at that and it says to me August 12th, but for someone, say in Europe, that says the 8th of December. But, you know, overall, this is an easy one to help out with because it did say in the video description for the trailer, August 12th, 2026, which, if you remember, is the exact same day we are getting the Warhammer 40K War Bond. The second bit of confusion was right at the end of the trailer when it says on PS5 and PC, with Xbox not showing up there. And so, rightfully so, Xbox players were asking, hey, what about us? Well, if you look at this trailer but upload it to Twitter, it looks exactly the same all the way through it except for when it makes it right to the end and it says on PS5, PC, and Xbox. Now, the simple solution and explanation is that the team messed up and uploaded the wrong trailer to YouTube, which community manager Baskinator did confirm when responding to a member over in the official Discord server. Yeah, so there you go. We've got this crazy trailer with the alien hand reaching in, coming to all three platforms on August the 12th, and this thing has been creating quite the stir in the Helldivers community. In fact, drop a comment about your thoughts on whatever is coming next week, and let's get a sense of where my viewers are landing on this one. Are those actually the cultists, maybe a new enemy type, or has 𝗵𝗔 channeled his inner drop bear and is coming to inflict terror on the game? We'll find out next week, but I'm interested to see what you have to say about it now. We haven't seen an official blog post from the team at Arrowhead since, when was it? June the 4th, I think, when 𝗤𝗏𝗏 announced the introduction of Galactic Campaigns, along with a lot of other features that the studio had planned and was working on for the game. And anyways, in that June 4th post, there was also a mention of a level cap increase, which we now, as of this morning, have a new announcement coming in from Arrowhead centered on that very cap increase. And here's what they said, and of course, I've got a few thoughts on the backside of this. Attention Helldivers, Super Earth has authorized a new tier of service, and it's a big one. That's what she said. The level cap is jumping from 150 all the way to 300. If you are already sore from the democratic path to 150, take a breath before you panic. This update comes with some genuinely great news for anyone who's already put in the hours. And then they go on to list out a quick history of the cap. The launch cap was level 50. for those of you who were back there when the game first launched. Remember, we hit 50 and that was it. And then in April 2024, it tripled up to level 150. And now, again, it's going to be doubling up to level 300. They go on to say, each time the cap has risen, it's been paired with new titles, ranks, and bragging rights for the players who stuck around, from our veterans of Malevelon Creek to our soldiers in the battle for Super Earth, to those brave divers who held the Minkent line and beyond. This time is no different. Level 300 is arriving as part of a broader progression overhaul that also brings galactic war campaigns and personal campaign progress tracks. Both of those items were mentioned back in that June the 4th post. The only one that has arrived has been galactic war campaigns. Anyways, just thought you should know that. Giving you new rewarding goals to chase even when the wider community's major order doesn't pan out. Their next bullet point here is the numbers. They say, let's be honest about what we're looking at here. Reaching level 150 already takes many hours of dedicated sessions, several hundreds of missions across dozens of galactic war campaigns. Reaching level 300 will take more than double that. This isn't a small bump, it's a genuine second act for anyone chasing the next rank. If you're not already at the cap, don't stress about falling behind. All the weapons, stratagems, and gear that actually matter for your loadout unlock by around level 25. Everything past that is about demonstrating your veteran prestige and prowess in battle. Level 300 is a marathon, not a sprint, designed to let you continue to demonstrate to your fellow Helldivers your skill and commitment to fighting for Super Earth. This next part is actually really important here, so whatever you're doing, check this out. It says your XP is already banked. Here's the part worth getting excited about. If you hit level 150 before this patch drops and kept playing anyway, none of that XP was wasted. The game has saved every drop of experience you earned over 150, even past the current cap. The moment the new limit goes live, the game recalculates your total XP against the new level table and instantly bumps you up to whatever you should be. No regrinding, no starting over, just an immediate jump that reflects the missions you've already completed with your fellow Helldivers, the battles you've already won, and the contributions you've already made to the ongoing war. This is exactly what happened the last time the cap rose from 50 to 150. Players who kept farming missions past level 50 logged in and found themselves instantly promoted several levels, sometimes dozens, based purely on banked XP. Expect the same behavior this time around. So if you've been running super Helldive missions for nothing since hitting 150, surprise, you've actually been quietly stacking up levels 151, 152, 153, and beyond. You just haven't seen the number tick over yet. So how is all this going to work? Well, they say new veteran players already at 150 log in after the patch and watch your level jump based on banked XP. Keep playing normally in the meantime, every dive counts. Players still working towards 150, no change to your path, keep pushing towards the current cap, the new ceiling will be waiting for you. They finish up with expect new titles and ranks to fill out the stretch between 150 and 300, giving long-term players fresh milestones and hopefully some fresh bragging rights all the way to the new ceiling. For Super Earth, for glory, and for that sweet, sweet liberty, see you on the battlefield, Helldivers. All right, so while you're mulling over what Arrowhead just announced, let me hop in with some of my initial thoughts. First off, because I know this is the thought on everyone's mind right now, the question is when? When are we getting this, bro? And the announcement makes no mention of that. I mean, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, hell, it could be 2 months from now. I honestly don't know, and they don't say. I'd like to think this is part of some larger update the game might get next week, alongside the Warhammer War Bond and the whatever that content we saw in the Teddy Bear trailer that's apparently coming, but I cannot confirm that. Now, as far as the level cap being raised from 150 up to 300, I mean, I'm not going to complain. It's something. Just like when we moved from 50 up to 150, it was something, although those extra 100 levels netted us nothing but different player titles. Now, in terms of the depth of the level cap increase we're expecting, I'd love to have seen some more meat on the bone here. Know what I'm saying? Something like, hey, the cap is moving up to 300, and along with those levels and the player titles, we're also going to introduce insignias, badges, medals, something to customize our armors with. Things that we as players can see and will allow us to customize our Helldiver drip the way that we want. You know, a little something to make our time and efforts stand out just that little bit more. Again, I'm not complaining, I'm just commenting and offering up suggestions. Also, one final note here, call it more of a side note, and I definitely like to hear your feedback on this one. I saw this post over on the LowSodiumReddit, and it kind of stood out. Here's what it says. It says, I like it. They're referring to this announcement. I like less the obvious AI writing in these recent update posts. Quote, this isn't a small bump. It's a genuine second act for anyone chasing the next rank. They go on to end it with barf. Now, I didn't see a name associated with the Arrowhead post, so this announcement wasn't made by a specific dev per se, but there were little bits that stood out that kind of hinted that maybe something instead of someone did some of the writing. But this is, again, where I turn to you. What do you think of the post, the announcement itself, and the rest of what we learned today? This last piece is really fast, I promise. We saw the Helldivers team post the new Outriders armor over on Twitter, along with the passives on that armor, which I know we've all been waiting for. So here it is. It's going to be called Kinetic Displacement Mitigation for 50% damage resistance to fire. It will also include 50% chance to avoid grievous limb injury and 30% reduced damage taken for impacts and collisions. So I know a lot of you were wondering about the armor that we've been fighting to earn during this current Galactic campaign, and now you've got the answers. But here's where I turn to you once again. What do you think of that horror-inspired teddy bear trailer that's coming next week? What about the level cap announcement we got today? Was it enough, or would you have liked to have seen something heftier when it came to all of that? And now that you know about the new armor set passive, does that sound like something you're going to equip and wear? Drop a comment, and let's talk as a community. Please hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my future upload alerts. And before I go, as always, we need to send a massive shout out to these hardcore channel supporters. If you want to join the ranks, look at my YouTube homepage for the join button. And you know, we've got tiers and perks to suit everyone's tastes. Until the next one, this is 𝗲𝗲𝗹𝗶𝘀𝗂𝗏 signing off.